Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I think that these two subjects that I will discuss in this video, plus a little video clip featuring Bernie Sanders and Robert F. Kennedy Jr. in his confirmation hearing, are very important. And the subjects are, one, who controls most of what we hear, see, read, that is the news in the United States of America, and not only. And the other subject that I have has to do with how much Big Pharma pays our elected officials. Why did I pick this second subject is because if you remember, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. went through the hearings, confirmation hearings, and Bernie Sanders, the communist, he's a communist. His honeymoon, he spent it in the Soviet Union, but nevertheless. So this Jewish senator, Bernie Sanders, he accuses Robert F. Kennedy from profiting from Big Pharma. And Robert F. Kennedy is going to tell us who profited actually. And I have these two articles for the two subjects coming from the same enemies of the truth, which are the Russians, Sputnik. So I think for the American people who would like to know who's who, what's what, I have here some names and some numbers of who's who, what's what in who was paid by Big Pharma as our elected officials. And the other one is 5 families, 5 interests control most of the legacy, as they call it, media. I call them media operatives. So let's start with the first topic, which is from, obviously, as I said, the enemies, which are Sputnik, the Russians. Here's how much Senate's loudest Robert F. Kennedy Jr. critics have been paid by Big Pharma. So this is the confirmation hearing. This is obviously Robert F. Kennedy. And let's move on. The fiery viral exchange between Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and Senator Bernie Sanders on Big Pharma money in politics has cast a new light on the Trump HHS big uphill confirmation battle. So among senators grilling Kennedy hardest in the week's grueling confirmation hearings, here's who gotten the most pharma money via PAC contributions and employee donations between 1990 and 2024. So there are people over there being in Senate since 1990 to now. So that's what, 34 years. Per calculations by Open Secrets. Bernie Sanders, this is a communist guy. Now, you can say, well, so what? You play by the rules of the game. I agree with you. But it's kind of a little bit hypocritical what he has been doing. Bernie Sanders, 1.9, so let's say almost $2 million. Ralph Warnock, $1.75 million. Patty Murray, $1.6 million. Chuck Schumer, that's another Jewish senators. So you have 2 Jewish senators right here out of 100 that they are there. Elizabeth Warren, you know who that is, Pocahontas, right? 1.2. I listened to her really idiotic rant. 1.2 million. Ironic that she recently accused Kennedy of, and I'm quoting, profiting from anti-vaccine conspiracies, and quote. Ron Wyden, 1.2, Bill Cassidy, 1.2, Mark Warner, 654,000, Maggie Hassan, 467,000, and Catherine Cortez Mazzo, 537,000. So these are the guys. And Sputnik, Robert F. Kennedy fires back at Bernie Sanders over his big pharma money. And here is a video of that, but I have it prepared from a different area, which is right here. So Bernie Sanders attacks Robert F. Kennedy about, hey, you got it from Big Pharma. And he's gonna, my problem with Robert F. Kennedy, or downside, or how should I put it, from Robert F. Kennedy is that he is sick, he can't speak properly, loudly I'm talking, and if someone yells, he can't really yell back. So here it is.
You guarantee do what every other major country does. It's a simple question.
And by the way, Bernie, The problem of corruption is not just in the federal agencies, it's in Congress too. Almost all the members of this panel are accepting, including yourself, are accepting millions of dollars from the pharmaceutical industry.
And now this guy stops him. Oh no. And this is going to be the communists' justification. And I wanted to look at this guy. He's going to be laughing all the way.
Oh, I thought that would come. No. I ran for president like you. I got millions and millions.
So if he ran president by you, he didn't receive money, that's acceptable? Yeah, because that's the system in the United States of America. The system of campaign donations, they call it. If you would do this in real life, that's would be called corruption.
Of contributions. They did not come.
That's contribution. That's a euphemism. Contribution.
From the executives, not one nickel of PAC money from the pharmaceutical industry. They came from workers.
In 2020, you were the single largest.
Because I had
Again, he interrupted him.
Pharmaceutical money
from workers all over this country. Workers.
You were the single.
Are the CEOs workers or they're not? Do they work? So again, you see what kind of words that guy uses? Workers. I'm a worker. I work. You work. The senator is a worker. The CEO is a worker. The president is the worker.
Not a nickel from corporate tax.
You were the single largest acceptor of pharmaceutical dollars.
No, from workers in
1.5 million.
Yeah, out of 200 million. All right, but
move on.
You have not answered. Last question. You have not answered my question.
Yeah, you don't answer my question. What do we have here again? How much he's got? Well, you can say, well, it's debatable. My point is this. I don't like this system where money play so much, so important in being visible to the public. Because you can say, well, if you get people to support you, it's true, but then those people, they come back to ask for favor. And those people are people that have corporations, workers. All right, so that's the first topic. You can do your own research further. My point is Bernie Sanders, the communist, loves, and he's a millionaire. I think he's worth about 7.5, to be more accurate, $1 million. So it worked fine for him. I have nothing against that. But to me, it sounds a little bit like, well, he uses the system. That's great. The capitalist system, as capitalist it is. All right, let's go to the second topic. Again, from the bad people of Sputnik. Who controls what Americans listen to, read, and see in the news? From the get-go, I will just set the premises. If tomorrow, and we have Elon Musk enumerating 5. He said 5 right here. 5 are concentrated in the media. It's just 5 ownerships that have to allow to filter what you see, what they think you should know about and how you should know about the subject they will promote. So let's start with this. These 5 entities in a society. Let's say the society is of various stripes, ethnically, racially, and that's about it, because that's the big problem what I'm talking about here. And let's say you have, out of 5, 3 of them would be Russians, owned by 3 Russians, and 1 would be owned by an Australian, and the other thing by Irish guy. You would first say, okay, how come those 3 Russians got to own 3 of them? And you start thinking, it's because they're smarter. You can't say that. Then you say it's because they have a little flair into doing business better than the rest of, let's say the Russian community is only 3%, up to 3% of the whole society. So out of the 3% of 100, they represent, in this case, 60%. So they're overrepresented, 60%, right? That's 3/5. So in this case, you have 3/5 from 3%. You would say, normally you would say, well, so what? I mean, what's going on? Well, a baboon doesn't see patterns. The baboon, is just a baboon. Does this thing and then goes over here, and when he goes back to do the same thing, he forgot about the pattern. I'm just, exaggerating. You know what I mean by baboons. Baboons are smart animals, just to put it like that. So they look for patterns, better than humans, actually. So you have to find patterns to understand who's who, what's what, connect some dots. So you have 3 Russians own their, let's say, according to Musk, 60%, and they're 3% of the population. Wouldn't you think that there would be some questions? How in the hell you got this? Unless you helped one another. It's maybe a group effort among the Russians. I'm just asking questions, but you know my answers. And if you don't know the answers, stay tuned and we're going to find out. So, next one. Let's go and see what this article has to say. Who are those people? Elon Musk has publicly criticized the concentration of media ownership in the US, which allows a select few to quote-unquote filter information to fit a narrative. There are, and I'm quoting, like 5 people that control all the news, end quote, Musk said in a clip going viral on his social media platform X. It is these individuals that decide, and I'm quoting, what is newsworthy, he claimed. Sputnik took a closer look at who are the individuals pulling the strings behind much of US media. And we got 5 names, and I'm going to show you. So here it is. We're going to go over this in a moment. First, this is how the media is made. Things happen, and the local agencies report locally. And then they send the information further. Like they said, for instance, you have Associated Press, for instance, they get the information and then they spread it, and other media outlets pick the information and what they see fit for you to hear and what they think you are interested in. For instance, you were very interested, or the media wanted you to be very interested in that stupid assassination of that big Pharma CEO. One person shot another person. And that went for weeks, plural, weeks. Every day the big media talked about it. They want to push that narrative. Now, how many of those kinds of criminal acts happen in America? Worse than that. How many do you think abuses for this kind of people, and it's not little people, happen? I know where I live, a lot of them. And do you hear about them? They don't, I don't want to say promote, they don't cover those things over and over again. I would be every day asking where Epstein's list is. Every day I would ask about it. They don't. Why not? Some people decided that Mr. Epstein's list of customers should not be, should be forgotten. The same with Nord Stream 1 and Nord Stream 2 pipelines. How do you want to call that? Economic terrorist, industrial terrorism. They don't talk about it. Some people decided you should not know about it, should not interest you. All right, so let's go over these guys here. I have the names and everything else. So first, Brian Roberts, Chairman and CEO of Comcast Corporation. NBC, Telemundo, MSNBC, CNBC, USA Network, Bravo, Papapa, Golf Channel, Olympic Channel. All these things, you're very familiar with them. I guarantee you that. Now, these ones also own corporations in the territory, in Romania, in Germany. They're partly owners, and those guys will say what these guys tell them to say. They're coordinated. Now, not in every issue. There's some local news that they can be independent, but they own a lot of other things around the world. Like in Romania, I know there are some big news agencies over there owned by CNN, for instance. I know one of them. So it's not called CNN. It's called in Romanian, let's say, Drăguților. You pretty guys. That's how it is. Now, let's see who this guy Roberts is, and I'm going to show you who he is. All right, this guy. Remember, if you look at the name, is an English Anglo-Saxon name, Brian Roberts. Now I look at this, I say, okay, I already know who you are. I don't even have to go further than that. Right there. Do you know what I'm talking about? If you don't know what I'm talking about, then you need to go around the block a few times. And you read, he's a son of this and Papi Poop. All right, and then the founder of Comcast, Suzanne Fleischer. When you hear Fleischer again, you understand. Okay, who's this guy, man? And I went to see who this guy is. Let's say who the son of Ralph. So I know, who's this Ralph, man? Let's see, his father, right? And I like to see these things. All right. And I found out that his parents are both Russian Jewish. So he's Jewish. All right. But here, his name is, as it is. He's Roberts. His English as they come. All right. Let's go back to the article. I mean, if you don't like the truth, get the fuck out of here. Go. All right. Next one. Christine McCarthy. I looked at her and she's former CEO. So she's out. But I know this guy. Bob Iger. Okay, let's see Bob Iger. Another one that the picture doesn't tell the truth, but you can also see it in the face. He's just anyway. So let's see what this guy is. What is he doing? Is he Russian again or something? So you're going to see, opa, asta nu e tata. Again, he's Jewish family in New York. Nothing wrong with that. So we got 2 out of 2 so far. Next one. And this is right here, media assets. This is the top individual shareholders at the Walt Disney Company. So you got ABC, ESPN, FX, National Geographic. So do you think these guys are going to say something about a second world war that will not fit Iger and Roberts? Then we have Walt Disney, Pixar, Marvel Studios, Lucasfilm. This is Lucasfilm. 20th Century Studios. Streaming Disney Plus, Hulu, ESPN Plus are owned by this beautiful guy, right? By this guy right here. Next one. We're going to go to the third one. Shari Redstone. I know the father of Miss Shari Redstone. And Shari Eileen Redstone. Okay, Redstone, what are you doing? And you find out that she was married to a rabbi. Baba B, Kuku Kappa Kap, we don't care, but we go to her father, Sumner. Oh, look at this. No, man. Look at this. You can recognize who this guy is. Have you seen him before? So who is this guy? I don't know. Let's see. Oh, we find out that he was born in Boston to Galician Jews, parents originally from Kosovo, Austria-Hungary, land now in Ukraine. Right there, there's a flag. Right? So he's Jewish from Galicia, no problem. So again, we got 3 out of 5 that Elon Musk mentioned. You go to the next one, Murdoch family. They have Fox News. Isn't Fox News different than all these ones that I enumerated? They say, well, this is the far right, which is not. Fox Business, Fox News, and that's it, Fox. Everything you see, Fox. New York Post, Dow Jones and Company owns the Wall Street Journal. And then you got this Australian family. All right. So this is 1 out of 4. And then Hearst family. Again, I looked at this guy. They have San Francisco, probably Cosmopolitan. You maybe never heard about these guys. I never heard of these guys. I have to tell you that. A&E Networks, History Channel, Lifetime, ESPN with Disney. So they are together with those ones. So Hearst, again, I couldn't find anything. So it's not anything that you know what I mean. So I can show you my little research here. Hearst family, $22.4 billion. And they show you here who the philanthropists are, and you can do your own research further. My point is this, regarding this. I would like to know who are the guys in charge of this. What's wrong with that? And then name them as they are. Now, if we would have, let's say, out of 5, you would have 4 Romanians. Would that be any problems? And if you say no, I would ask why. Why? And if you tell me, well, okay, if that's the case, then let's say you would have, in media is the one that gives you limits what you see and how you think to a certain extent, unless you do your own research. But let's say you have senators, and you have senators. Let's say you have senators, and you have 10 Romanian senators over there. Let's say you have 10 of Romanian origin. Is there anything wrong with that? Well, if you tell me as a good American that you are, that, hey, man, this is democracy. People choose whomever they want. Now I think you're a baboon. Why? You know it's not working that way. You know they're helping one another. So the 10 Romanians is just not a coincidence. There are 10 over there, and there will be more. And let's say the Romanians represent 3%, up to 3% of the population. There are 10. That's overrepresentation. But if you as a Romanian don't consider yourself being part of the majority group and you're a minority when you need to get some perks, we have a problem. You know, you can't just say, now I'm white and now I'm a minority. And now whenever benefits you, I'm white, I want the, how do you call it, the privilege, and then I'm a minority because I'm an immigrant. Which one are you? Well, you can be both, right? Correct. So let's stop being baboons. I think these are two very important points, which is the campaign donation system in America needs to be restructured, rethought, not rethink. We need to rethink it, redesigned. And the other one is with the media. I knew about the media for at least 30 years. Who was whom and whom as what. I knew that because I was exposed to some great people in the past, and I listened to some great people who said these are the guys. And better research than Sputnik. I can't tell you who, but go to Dr. William and find out. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.